So what was the closure you got at WrestleMania this year?
I guess it was being out there in front of in the live audience and having that moment. Now I'd come back, I did the deal with Bray and LA Knight, and then I did that little thing with NXT. But I think it was because it must have been my history with Mania and that part of my legacy, just to go out there one more time. And then, have somebody like Rock who come up and was in that Attitude Era with me. And I don't know, I just felt once I got back, I was like,
the funny thing is,
good.
You started that night watching. You were in the crowd.
Yes. Yeah. So I was there Saturday. So I had a ton of appearances. I did a One Dead Man show in Philly. I had a ton of appearances, and I get a suite every year. And these last couple of years are the first years that I've even been in them with my family and friends. And there was like one night I'm sitting there on the balcony. People finally look up and they recognize me, and there's a clip of my father-in-law giving them the DX chop and all that. And this is like, so I had got a call earlier that way. I think it was like Tuesday it was Tuesday, the week of Mania. Triple H calls me. He says, "Hey," he said, "what do you think about doing this? And what do you think about doing that?" And I was like, man, if you need me, of course, I'll do it. I said, he goes, well, their guys are still throwing things around. I said, look, just understand this. I said, this is not going to be about me. I said, if I can do something that adds to the story and helps, I said, I'm all in. I'll do whatever you need. I said, if there's anybody involved in this that doesn't want me in there, I said, my feelings are not going to be hurt. I said, I'll be in the suite. I'll be having a good time. I'll probably be drunk. I said, but just don't worry. Like that, we've had this conversation. I said, if there's somebody not on board, I'm fine. I'm good. Don't worry about it. So I'm sitting up at the suite. They're going back and forth with everything. I'd had a couple other calls during the week, but nothing was really final. And then I get the call
that day.
Yeah, and they said, "Hey, we're going to go over this thing in about 30 minutes. So you want to come downstairs?"
And Mania was on.
Hey, it's on. Yeah, it's going.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the suite.
How many Coors Light had you had at that point?
What's that?
How many Coors Light did you have at that point?
I had a few, but so I go down till they talk about what they want to do, and I was like, yeah, all right, sure.
Man.
Yeah, I was like, that's easy money. I can do that. And
that moment made grown men cry.
It was a lot of fun. The rib was on me though, because normally, we would stage a lot differently. So when I get downstairs and they say, okay, we're gonna put you here, and then when this happens in the match, we got to start running. So I'm at the far end of the bowl of the stadium, and whatever spot happens, they say, all right, let's go. So I've got all these ring guys, these tech crew. Yeah. We're all running in a big group trying to hide me, and we're running, and actually no one is really paying attention. And so I'm running. I'm like, crap. I said, where do we have to go? And they're like, you see the tent down there? We got to get under it. And I'm like, crap, that's 75 yards. I just had both my knees replaced. So this is the first time that I've actually run on them. So I'm running through the crowd, and I get to the place, and I'm like, I'm blowed up. And so then I waited on the second cue and slid in there.
You moved pretty good getting in the ring.
Hey man, I tell you what, two new hips, two new knees. Well, the hips they're replaced. They're not new, but no, I feel pretty good.